Hey everybody, Jacob Godar here today talking about protecting your company from liabilities. If you're wanting to grow your company, this is one of the biggest mistakes you could make, to not watch this video and not be thinking about some of the liabilities that could pop up, they could sneak up, they could become problematic for you and could end up tearing down your company. Now, before we get into that, obviously there's crutches in this video. If you've watched my Instagram or my Facebook, you know what's happened to me. I had a motorcycle accident, ended up breaking some bones, broke my pelvis, and this, matter of fact, is one of those liabilities. It's not one of the main ones that I'm maybe gonna go after all the time, but there's just a huge slew, so it's very fitting for this video that we're talking about liabilities. So let's get right into this. First, let's talk about why I say that a lot of people don't even focus on this, and it can be one of the things that can take you down the easiest. So many people want to grow their company, grow the revenue, make it bigger, do better, and it's your duty to do that. If you're not wanting to grow, if you're not growing, you're dying. Whether that's your relationship, whether that's your garden, whether that's whatever it is, that is your business, right? That's what is happening. So good for you. If you're wanting to grow your company, that's what you should be wanting to do. The problem is we take our eye off of some things that matter so much, and we get into liabilities. It's a bunch of different kind of liabilities. First one I'm going to hit on is so many people focus on growing, they don't think about the liability that they encounter just with employees. As you grow, you're going to need more and more people on your staff. You're gonna have more and more things go wrong, go awry. And very soon, you're going to have to work away from the old buddy system of one, hiring your friends, which if you're anything like me, I've fired most of my friends that I've hired and I still am friends and love them. Just realize that we weren't gonna be on the same path and it wasn't gonna work out. And getting away from that buddy system and then start getting into documenting things, having documentation, having sign-off sheets, having company handbooks on the policies and regulations of working in your company. So there's a clear, structured outline of what does go, what does not go, down to holidays, how people are paid and in what timely fashion, every little nuance. But how this starts off is people don't have a handbook. People are doing the buddy system. People are just kind of winging it, not holding people accountable and all these different things. And before you know it, you have a situation that comes up and it really bites you in the ass. And so you can be taken advantage of by employees, and this is given that you're a great employer with morals and you're trying to do the best thing, but you can be taken advantage of. You can have people go after things that they don't really deserve to go after. You have all these bad things happen just because you didn't take accountability for the job that was your task, because you were so, let's grow, and you didn't think about this one form of liability. Next, there's a huge caveat on we want to run, and we also don't think about the liability of what happens if, depending on our staff size, let's just say it's 10, what happens if out of our field, who is maybe 8 people, what if 4 of them quit? What if one of them gets hurt? 3 of them quit. 1 of them gets fired. 1 of them gets hurt. 2 of them quit. Wow. You went half staff in a matter of minutes. So here's another opportunity to not be protecting yourself from the liability, thinking, man, I got a great crew, it's all perfect, and all of a sudden you don't have people. And not protecting yourself from this liability by having a plan to consistently hire, having a process to consistently be interviewing, seeing new faces. If they're awesome, figuring out a way to bring them into the business, because there's this inherent thing that happens that as you hire people, somehow the work seems to show up. This is a huge liability. If you can't produce the work and it's all sold, you start letting people down, it's very, very easy to frustrate a lot of clients, and then it just creates more and more stress on everybody in the company. And one of the other liabilities that even comes from this is if you create stress and push everybody else to try to get through it, now those people are more stressed out because of how hard they're working, and that could be the breaking point of how long they work for you. I had this situation happen to me in Florida. I finally stopped doing this because of this situation. I said, guys, I need you to work your ass off for a week. Give me a week. I won't let it happen again. We haven't let it happen since. I held to my word, and we started a policy of where every single week we interview 4 people. Now, given there are weeks where the person who does all the scheduling is not here, there are times when other things are huge on the fryer and we say this week we're going to pass on that, but most of the time, very consistently, the schedule is interview to make sure you're filling those roles. And when you're starting to think about and see these different liabilities in your company, one of the next liabilities is you're just starting out and you don't get the proper insurance, expedite getting that insurance, make sure you're covered or have insurance at all. That's a liability that's growing in your company. It's something that you have to have. And if you're not covered, you're introducing yourself to tons and tons of liability by growing your company. And you need to do your due diligence and do everything you can to protect yourself from that as you scale your company. So for not just you, not just your family, for all of your team who plans to continue with you, that they can continue to have a job. This is huge. And so you see, we're starting to tack through these different liabilities that may be growing in your company as you grow this thing. And you just go, and you don't think about it. Another liability is running out of work in general, right? Obviously, marketing plans are huge, and having a goal of what we want to spend and what we want to do in marketing is huge. But one of the biggest things that used to happen to me, one of the big liabilities that would sneak up is, oh my gosh, we're selling new stuff, we're growing, and we're having a hard time producing it. So all of a sudden, what do I do with it? As a person with the skill to do this stuff, I pulled away from sales. I went out and monitored in the field to make sure we were producing. And before you know it, I'd kept my eye off of sales for so long that we were out of work. And sales is a cycle, right? You don't just sell this week and produce 3 months of work. You might produce some immediate work, but most of the time it takes weeks to get slow. It takes weeks to get busy because it's a cycle. None of it happens immediately. You have people with, we're starting 2 weeks out, a month out, 2 months out. They're planning, right? Planning goes into this. Finances go into this. So much stuff goes into this. So there's all these things, as we keep talking, these liabilities that if you're not protecting yourself from this, if you're not figuring out ways to implement process and stuff that keep you from making some of these mistakes, these can rear their ugly head and they can bite you. And this can end your company because your company relies on work. Your company relies on people. Your company relies on not being attacked by people and having you set with the right documentation and everything so it is protected. That's the whole purpose of having an entity in general, not just a sole proprietorship, is to have a corporate veil to protect you from people that could attack the company that then come through and attack you as an individual. So you do need to work every angle possible to protect that company as well. And you're doing it not just for yourself, you're doing it for your whole team. So as you can see, these list of little liabilities can just pop up and can pop up and can pop up. This could be the liability of you're growing so fast and you see that you're about to run out of space, but you don't take action. And the liability is you are a slow action taker and it's hampering your company. There's so many little things that I could just go on. But with the main ones that I wanted to hit on, being employee, having documentation for all of your employees and making sure that everybody coming in is being well documented, they're signing off on a handbook, you are then holding them accountable and all of these other things to protect yourself from those liabilities, and then all of the other liabilities I mentioned so you can have a smooth running company because the liabilities never end. The problems never stop. The new opportunities to have something bad happen never stop, and all of it costs money. And money is the blood in the heart of your company. Sales is the blood in the heart of your company. And so these are things that could slowly but surely or quickly take you down that you must watch out for. So watch out for all the liabilities in your company that you can protect yourself from. You want to be proactive, not reactive, because proactive people end up being successful. And then list in the comments what other things are liabilities that you realize are growing in your company. Maybe you're thinking about taking action on it. Maybe you're scared to take action on it, but list it down below because there's a million different things and people need to realize everybody's fighting their own battle and everybody's got all kinds of things that are coming right around the corner that are about to be scary. And that's a part of being a business owner. You're problem solving. You're taking on challenges. You have to be willing to take on this stuff. So for the final little piece of liability that's outside of that, I'm a business owner. I'm on crutches. I'm not going to walk for another 6 weeks. I'm not going to be able to train again for another, I don't know if they said 4 months from yesterday or 4 months from the beginning. What would that do to me if I was a solo operator? One would say, well, this stuff doesn't really happen much, and Jacob, you're a jackass because you ride dirt bikes and you put yourself in harm's way. I could have got hit by a car. Could have been an accident. Same thing could have happened. My actual break is very common from a car wreck. When your knee hits the dash, it breaks your pelvis because it drives your femur through your pelvis. How much are you thinking about the liability of you not being able to do 100% of what you do, potentially damaging your company? That's a scary liability, right? We want to think about the scary things because reality is bad shit happens. Hopefully you get lucky and it doesn't happen to you, but it could happen to you. And if you were like me, how would you be faring right now? And if you say you would be faring bad, I'm going to push you because I love you to try to do something about it. Try to implement the people in place, try to get the SOPs in place, try to get the documentation in place, try to grow the team to where even if you're in the state, you can still operate, you can still help. Your team can carry the ball for some amount of time while you get better. Well, you have to operate from home. So back to the original thing, for the sake of everybody can kick ass. So hope you've appreciated that. Leave some comments about the different liabilities, like I said. And make sure you share this with someone that this could affect, that this could rattle the cage and make them realize, well, shit, I need to grow because we need to be able to protect ourselves. But that's also going to cause more liability. So we need to protect ourselves from that. And give this a like, subscribe. Love all you guys. Thanks for watching.